And Zoom is up. Excellent. All right, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 8:05 a.m. and welcome to the Main Street Board of Directors, September 11th meeting. We did roll call. All set. We have a quorum. In front of you, you have an agenda. Is there anything that needs to be added? If not, I'll accept a motion to accept the agenda. So motion, is there support? It's a motion and support. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the same. All right, we have an agenda. You also have in your packets your August 11th regular meeting minutes. Are there any additions, subtractions, deletions? If none, I entertain a motion to put the minutes into the record.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there support? All right. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. All right. The financial report, Jay.
Yeah, so in your packet are the balance sheet and the revenues and expenditures. Looking at the balance sheet, we've got our two accounts, 247 and 248 account. If you take the ending fund balance from both of those, it's slightly over $300,000 that we have as a fund balance. It's a little bit high because as taxes start rolling in, we kind of front load our budgets. But we're doing very well as far as our fund balance. If you go to the revenues and expenditures, we're doing great there. A couple things that I want to call out. You'll see that the second page, donations, private, we've already got $10,000 in. We've also got some sponsorships that are starting to come in. So that's great news there as well. Other than that, everything is just slowly working its way through like we would expect. Any questions?
Questions for Jay? All right. No questions. I'll entertain a motion to accept the financial report as presented. There's a motion. Is there support? Motion and support. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. All right. Jay, your report, please.
Good morning, everyone. First thing I want to talk about trick-or-treating, near and dear to my heart. Saturday, October 26th, from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. We will shortly have things going out to the businesses for downtown to participate. As always, we ask that the businesses start with 1,000 pieces of candy, and then we will supplement that. We're a little over halfway through purchasing the candy that we'll need. Again, we'll have about 50,000 pieces of candy. The discussion is we'll probably have 60 gallons of cider that we will pass out, as well as about 300 dozen donut holes. I got a guy.
And all of it will be gone in what, hour and 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, halfway through, we ran out of cider and donuts last year, so we increased it by 50% just to kind of adjust for that. In the packet was the sponsorship form. We're looking for sponsors for that. So if you know anybody that would be interested in sponsoring, we would appreciate that. Candy's not cheap. It all went up in price this year. And I'm sure the donut holes will too. I know the guy. He's expensive. Currently, we have 4 sponsors. We have 2 500 level sponsors and 2 200 level sponsors. So that's good. We're looking for more. Like I said, basically at the 200 level, we will provide you with a booth, and then you supply the first 1,000 pieces of candy. At the 500 level, we'll supply candy for you to pass out. For that. And then volunteers, we're probably going to need, I would say, 10 to 12 volunteers. We'll reach out to the colleges again this year, and we'll work on some of those descriptions to help them. But really, it comes down to cider and donuts are the big ones. And if I can get somebody to help me with candy, I might even let them wear Willy Wonka.
Wow.
To help pass out.
You fit that outfit better than anybody.
Right. So that's trick-or-treating. The next thing on the report is a board retreat. So I know Dusty and Darcy have been through some recent meetings as board chair and vice chair with Michigan Main Street. And in my meetings with my Michigan Main Street peers, we've been talking about board involvement, committees and growth and what that looks like. And this seems like a perfect opportunity for us as we wind down our report from McKenna and our development plan, that we have a board retreat, do some annual planning and really focus on that committee structure. The Main Street organization provides an outline, right? This is what you can start with, but you can change the names of those committees and move them around and adjust them to how you work in your particular environment. So Michigan Main Street will facilitate the meeting. Lee is committed to it. She's given me a couple dates. We're looking at the end of October. One that came out particular was Friday, October 25th. I think looking at that after, I don't know what time. I think maybe that morning, but I'll get back to you. I'll put some dates out to get everybody involved with that. But really, it's going to focus on, committee strengthening and annual planning.
So in a way, lots of times we're trying to fit it into the box of, economic vitality or promotion committee and the like. And what we should be doing is naming them for what we're focused on as another way. And so they showed us an example of Grosse Pointe and their Main Street, and they had a lot of fun names for their committees. So if there was a project, they'd had that project committee, but then they'd make a name up for it. So I love everybody to be at the retreat and we have it just so that we can all work through it and start setting our goals and our transformation strategies going forward for next year. All right. Thanks, Jay.
Next thing, Artalicious tent. Mr. Taylor has graciously given us a space during Artalicious to be a nonprofit row. I had to promise him some bourbon or something to get a tent. I don't know what that was. But we'll be a nonprofit row on Saturday and Sunday. We'll be doing some kind of art related thing for the kids on Saturday. We'll be there from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. That's about 14 hours of coverage. There happens to be about that many of us. So if everybody could sign up for an hour to help out, that would be great. I will make sure that we have the art project ready to go. And if anybody has some ideas for the art project, please let me know. It doesn't have to be really elaborate or big, just something fun for the kids to do. And I'll send out a sign-up sheet probably tomorrow so we can get that going. Again, it'll be the 21st and 22nd. All right, next thing on my report is Michigan Main Street training. So September 23rd and 24th, that's Monday and Tuesday right after Artalicious, I will be attending Michigan Main Street fall training in Sheboygan. The agenda is in your packet. It's always a good time for us, for the Main Street managers to get together and kind of talk about what's going on. This one though, something I think is going to be pretty beneficial for us. It's media relations training. We're actually having somebody from the MEDC coming in, who's the media and communications manager, to do that training. We go up Monday, and Monday's really all of the peers. We kind of have our bonding session and misery loves company and kind of get through the day for us. And then we really focus on that training on the second day. This is open to board members if you're so interested. And you have the agenda there and kind of where it's going to be. And then the last thing, and this one's really important, guys. This is a big deal for us. Tuesday, October 1st from 3 to 4 p.m. Well, they'll be here longer, but the one that impacts you directly, 3 to 4 p.m. National Main Street will be here for our accreditation visit. The chair will probably have to call a special meeting. We need full board participation for this. They want to meet with the board to talk about the self-assessments, how we're doing with the program and moving forward. So please mark that on your calendar.
I will be calling a special meeting, so we'll go ahead and put that on the record.
So we'll move forward with that. Prior to that, they meet with me from 1 to 2, and then from 2 to 2:45, they want to meet with the city administrator and any commissioners that are available. They want to see how we interact with them, what kind of feedback I have for them, and then finally wrap up with the board. So they'll be here, and they'll be here earlier. I may take them on a little tour before the meetings to show them what's going on and kind of what exciting things we have going on in the community. And then one last thing that's not on my report that I do want to talk about is the event coordinator position. So Nikki's been doing a great job for us. She's just realized that she has conflicting commitments. She's the dance coach at Siena Heights University, and that's really her passion. And the event coordinator position probably needs to expand. And we've been having that conversation at the executive level. And we're going to be researching what that cost is to go to a full-time position, and then really reevaluating that job description, looking at and adding probably some business development or business education along with the event management in that role. So look for more to come on that very soon. We'll have some details and probably be posting that position.
Any questions for Jay? Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. All right, Greg, you up there? Yeah, you are.
I am. Good morning.
Morning.
This morning I wanted to share with you about our vacant buildings ordinance, which has great applicability to downtown. The city commission has been working through revisions. We have one, but it's pretty much a registry with an initial inspection and not much after that, other than having to keep the inspection up to date. And we want to add, for lack of a better term, some teeth to that ordinance. That was a commission goal. Came out of our blight committee discussions, and we've gone through a couple of drafts. Expect to have one more for discussion at work session on Monday, not Monday night's meeting, before we move into first and second reading to adopt the changes. Of significance is the fact that we will be doing at least annual interior inspections as well as exterior, which never were done before. For downtown, we currently have in the draft a provision to provide for the sort of the faux window coverings that we did as a demonstration project on the now demolished buildings that were on the town square property. So we think that that will do a better job encouraging building owners to move forward with reoccupancy sooner rather than later. Having a plan for reoccupancy is also part of the proposed new requirements. And then the buildings that were on the town square kind of speak to why this is necessary. By the time the city became the owner of those buildings through tax sale and other means, they had deteriorated to such an extent that they were not salvageable anymore. All the wood in the buildings had rotted and was not salvageable due to the infiltration of water. And these are things that we hope to prevent by having recurring, at least annual inspections on them. In that same vein, related to the demolition of the town square buildings, we continue our work on repairing the remaining wall, which had many unexpected contingencies related to it in terms of the conditions we found on that common wall after we got the buildings down. So those repairs continue, but we hope to have them done in the relatively near future. We've got about 4,000 old size bricks that are going to be for sale. If anyone knows anyone who's interested in that, they'll probably be about $1 a piece. That's what I wanted to share this morning, but I'm happy to answer questions on that or anything else.
Any questions for Greg? Greg, thank you.
Yep.
All right, we have some board action items here. Jay, you want to just sort of lead with that?
Yeah, it's a recommendation of the sign review committee that the downtown Adrian Main Street Board recommend the approval of sign application for Primetime Chiropractic at 146 Toledo Street.
All right, that was in your packet. I'll entertain a motion to accept the application and approve the sign. There's a motion. Is there support? All right, it's motion and support. Any further discussion?
Just as a item of note, it has been reviewed by the sign committee and it's been approved by them.
Oh yeah, that's good to have on the record. All right, there's been a motion and support. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Marcus, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next item on for approval is the recommendation of the sign committee. It's a recommendation of the sign committee that downtown Adrian Main Street DDA recommend the approval of the sign application for the Marks Trading Company at 142 North Main Street. The Marks Trading Company will be relocating their sign from 220 North Main Street to 142 North Main Street.
I'm gonna let this one die on the table. Just kidding. Can I get a motion? Get a motion to accept the site? There's a motion. Is there support? All right. Any further discussion?
And again, just for record, it is approved. It was recommended by the sign committee.
Excellent. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. All right. One more. That was close.
I was worried about that. All right, the last one, it's the recommendation of the executive director that the downtown Adrian Main Street DDA board approve the payment of the amount of $7,666 for the event rental from Allen Entertainment. In your packet, you will see that we have a invoice from Allen Entertainment for October's first Friday. That includes 18-hole putt-putt and the 25-foot quad rock wall. They will have people here to operate the rock wall for us. We'll just need to get some people to work with the putt-putt course to help manage that, collecting and passing out the putters and the golf balls.
80 putters. And they provide 4 staff for the rock wall.
Yep.
All right, any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to pay the invoice as presented. There's a motion, is there support? All right, there's motion and support. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Well, that event's going to be unbelievable, as you know. It doesn't matter if it rains. It doesn't matter what happens. If it's cold, warm, it's off the charts. And so really going to try to vamp it up even more with this. So excellent. All right. Move on to our, promotions committee.
Yep, promotions committee continues to meet regularly. The welcome back bash was fun for the hour that we were out there before the high winds. The fire marshal gave us 15 minutes to get our tents down and our stuff out of there. And so that's what we did. But it was fun before that. We're also working on social media. We have a new Faces of Downtown program on our social medias that Christina's working on. She's going around getting photos and short snippets from businesses. She's tracking that to make sure everybody gets coverage. So that's new. And we also have a kind of new What's Poppin' post that we're doing once a week so that downtown business owners and stakeholders can post specials, events, things going on this week in downtown.
Awesome. Any questions? Meredith, thank you. Okay, Michelle, I see you're there. First Friday.
Good morning. So first Friday, we had a really good turnout for bikes. It was a little lighter on the crowd, but there were also several home football games that evening, so we kind of expected that. The feedback from as far as the bike night was really good from the people who attended. And as most of you know, that was my last First Friday, so I hope to see those events continue to grow and be part of the community. As I think most of you know, those obviously started up long before me, maybe 12 years ago, I think it was. So I hope we continue those. I think they've really grown and evolved and will continue to. As far as downtown trick or treat, as Jay mentioned, we have most of the candy purchased, making another candy run this weekend. Earmuffs, Greg. So we'll have most of that taken care of. We are also buying double the amount of pumpkins. Last year, the pie pumpkins were a really big hit. The kids were able to paint and take with them. So we're going to double that amount too.
Excellent. I want to go ahead and recognize Michelle here. She's stuck through this for years and years now of keeping it together, making it grow, and really pushed hard to make First Fridays what they are today. So I'd like to give her a hand for all the work she's done. All right, Town and Gown, any report there? Yes.
I know Meredith mentioned our hour of fun. It was really about 15 minutes with students that were really getting geared up for everything. But I really do appreciate that collaboration. I also want to thank Jay for coming and speaking with every single one of our first years about the importance of service and connection to making this a college town during our orientation week. We had our biggest first year class ever at Siena Heights, and really thankful for that. I also want to publicly thank Nikki Brown because she's been great at Siena. So it's a sorry, not sorry, but I think it's important to say she has really invested to make sure her dance team is connected to understanding the importance of what's downtown, also during their orientation and welcome week. And I think we need more faculty and staff to do that. The Moriyama visit this past Friday and Saturday, I've really enjoyed spending some time at our football game with our contingency. And it was just a really special time for them to see our university, and I know a lot of the city. At Siena Heights and hopefully others with students, we're putting efforts towards September 24th from 2 to 6 p.m. The Greater Lenawee Chamber Expo is happening at the fairgrounds. Maybe some of you will be there, and it's a free event, and we're hoping that our students will go. We know that there's some hiring that will be at that event, and we're just off to a great start with the year. So thanks for supporting our colleges and universities.
Thank you, Michael. Any questions from Michael? All right. Organizational committee, we had some positive news that's coming from a prominent family that's going to maybe support our downtown project that we present town square. But I don't want to give a formal announcement, but I can say that we've had some positive communication. So pretty excited about by next meeting, I'll be able to elaborate. So I do believe that anyway. So, and we continue our efforts. We Jacob and Jay are going to meet again just to go back over all the ones that we have talked about. Again, we have financial institutions that have stepped up right away, and they want to be a part of all the sponsorships and the like. So some of that revenue is coming in a different form as opposed to just to an outright gift. And so we'll continue those efforts as we go forward. Economic vitality.
Economic vitality hasn't met, but we'll let Nikki give a report on the farmers market and kind of where we are and what happened last night.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I wasn't used to planning to get so much praise today, so thank you for that. So last night we had our first evening market. We had just about under 200 visitors. 10 new vendors joined our seasonal vendors, so we had about 30 vendors last night. I think the purpose for the Sunset Market was for exposure for other vendors. We were in no competition last night with other markets. So we had other new vendors, and we had a very different crowd than our normal Saturday crowd. So we got a lot of exposure, and hopefully our Saturday markets will pick up from that return. Remaining season, we have our last Kids Day on September 21st to kick off Artalicious. So I can help anytime after 2 o'clock that day. And then we are planning to extend our market to October 19th for the very last one. And our season ending will be like a fall fest. So we'll do something really cool themed for that. And I think that's all I have for this season so far. Any questions?
Nikki, thank you. All right. The design committee, the good news I'll bring next time is about who's going to join the design committee. So I'll be letting you know at the next meeting, and that is a big deal. It's a big deal. So very excited to bring that. And what about our mural project?
So our mural project, we've run into some challenges working with the building owner, and we seem to be at an impasse on the agreement for putting that up. So I think that we're going to explore. Well, I don't think, I know we're going to explore building our own structure to put the mural on in front of that wall. That way we can control it. We can allow the artistic talent to express themselves accordingly. The big hang up was the building owner wanted to have the right to refuse whatever the artist created, and that's just not how art works. You know, we've got to let the artists express themselves, give them a general idea of what it's going to be, but that's it. I can't let a person dictate what the artist is going to do, and I don't ever want us to do that. So We're exploring an alternative to that, and I think that will be sufficient for us.
And that can all be a part of the town square projects. If you can visualize that, we can make that as part of it. So. Any questions on that? I'll be so glad when we get that. It's been a while.
Oh, man.
Is Lenaway now with us?
Tim is not here. He said that he wasn't gonna be able to make it tonight.
Okay. Do we have any other DDA matters that the board would like to bring forward? Okay. Jane. Welcome.
Thank you all. Just a quick update for you today. We did conclude the interviews that we were able to schedule and talk with those stakeholders, and you have a summary of those. Nothing really significant to note in the additional interviews we conducted since our last meeting, but just more support for many of the themes that we heard about partnerships and programming, and obviously some of the physical improvements happening in downtown, and really just a lot of folks singing your praises. So I want to emphasize that as well. I've included a document outline just so you can kind of see how we're going to be organizing this and checking all of those statutory boxes, as much as we're trying to keep this not a boring tax incrementing finance document. It's still has to meet all of those requirements. So just to kind of highlight what this is going to look like, most of the drafting is done. And then we also included kind of the format of what the plan template is going to take. And so if you have any thoughts on that design, I'd be happy to hear those. And then for next meeting, we'll have the full document formatted and ready for your review. I know I've also been working with the city on the DACC question, and we're moving forward with that. So we're still progressing towards adoption before the end of the year, I think. So happy to take any questions, any thoughts, but everything is continuing to move forward.
I have a question. Do you think you'd have a rough draft for us that we could use at the end of October for our?
Yes, I plan to have a fully formatted draft for your next meeting.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent. Other questions for Jane? Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. We now move to public comment.
I know if I don't come up, Don Taylor, 475 Meadowbrook Drive, Dusty will want to know what's going on. Just very quickly, looking forward to the 17th Annual Artelicious Fine Arts Fair next weekend. Nikki, I've got some things reserved for you after 2 o'clock. Street cleaning, perfect job for you, okay? So we'll talk, okay? I really appreciate the fact that Jay approached me on First Friday and said, hey, we'd like to have a booth at Artelicious on Nonprofit Row. And I mean, it really speaks a lot to how you're reaching out to the community. I really appreciate that. I don't even think we're going to charge you. That's $25. So. But anyway.
Checks in the mail.
Looking forward to have everybody. I hope we have good weather. Who knows? You know, we've had hail, rain, wind, and all that stuff. So maybe we'll get a good weather. But hope you can come downtown. I think Jay is going to recruit you to participate. So it's a lot of fun, especially Nonprofit Row. This is the biggest we've ever had. We have one space left that we can use. And there's a chance that somebody from the Michigan Department of Transportation might be there. That's an interesting possibility. They called me yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we're looking forward to it. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Other public comment?
Hello, I'm Sherry from Pearls and Patina, and this is Kristen from Pearls and Patina. We're new to the downtown. I first wanted to say, I'm not sure if it was Nikki's doing, but we had for the bike run, poker run, and for the college, we had a bingo and the poker run cards that were brought to the businesses, which I thought was a great idea. It brought new people in our store so that they could see where we're at, because we're still hearing well, we didn't know you were here. So that was great. Even though they didn't have time to shop, they just wanted their card or they wanted their bingo square signed. They know we're there now. So that was great. So going forward, I think that was a great idea to pull people in our store. Also, I did talk to Pat Farver about this, about getting a map for our downtown, something that I mean, like the Four Corners obviously is going to be the place that it's the best for it, I guess. A map showing where the businesses are, and also a pamphlet map that we can keep in our store, and each business had in our store, in their stores. So people know where we are. So, because I'm sure you guys have heard, and Jay, we've talked about it. We are out of the loop because we're on Washburn Street. So I don't love that we don't see a lot of traffic there, and hopefully that's going to change. But I think it helps the people from our community to know where all of the downtown is. We want to be included in the downtown. We chose Adrian's downtown because we both were born and raised in Adrian. We could have went somewhere else, but we wanted to be here. So what are we going to do for that? For the areas, not just us, but anybody else that's out of that loop? What can we do to bring more to that end? Ourselves, we are working on with some other retailers down here on some events that are not going to be on First Fridays. So I don't know about it, Christina, since your promotions, I mean, we can talk to you about that. We want to do some things, something for the holiday. We're talking about doing like a Boo Bash or a Witch's Brew on a night that is not a First Friday, so that we can have, you know, some social time downtown and bring awareness to the downtown through not First Friday. So we are talking about doing that. Am I supposed to be quiet now? Oh, okay.
She can pick up where you left off, you know. Okay, well, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think the map idea is a good idea. I know we have something on our website that does that. You have to keep it updated and the like, but you know, physical one. We also talked about in the past, if you remember, a digital sign, a monument type digital sign for downtown that can constantly be updated. They're a little expensive, but maybe I'll go look at that again, see if there's an opportunity there.
Also, the promotions committee is working on like a cartoon map, kind of like at the zoo, and a downtown business kind of directory. So it's in the works.
Awesome.
And you definitely will be included.
Great. Any other public comment? As we wrap up this year, you know, we've got a couple big events, and then we have the big Christmas walk, Comstock River Walk. That's going to be a big one. And then we sort of go into the winter months, and that's why we really need to do some hard work as a team, and really start creating those committees and making things focused for next year so that we come out. As you know, the slate's sort of clean on First Fridays as far as where things happened and how they're happening and how we've changed a lot this year. And so the creativity is going to be a must for us. I mean, we need to figure out what is going to attract families down here and children and kids and students and all the ones we want to be down here. So I appreciate all of you, and we'll just keep working forward. Are there any board comments? It's not a record. It was 39 minutes, but we are adjourned. Right. Yeah, we have to motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. I don't think we do that. All right. Thank you all.